Good afternoon or morning, everybody, and welcome back to another weather forecast here by Adrian's Weather Forecast. As you can tell, there's going to be a major update here on the potential cross-country snowstorm here for later this week into much of the weekend. So this is actually, I said earlier yesterday that this was a very small storm as of what it looked like, but I said it could get bigger, and it looks like a lot of a bigger snowstorm now. Now the Europeans starting to look like the GFS model, and we have the new detailed radar since we are now close enough to this major windstorm. It'll start bringing snow, guys, within the next 15 hours, so it's actually not too far from now. It's just not many people have actually been talking about it. So this is actually possibly could be a named storm. It will be Thatcher. That'll be the letter T. So we're actually getting very close throughout the end of the alphabet. So we're continuing to see these storms come unexpectedly and actually become a big named storm. So we're continuing to see this heavy snowfall potential throughout the Rockies and Plains, and this is just going to show you that we're going to continue to see snow in these areas. Who knows if we can be seeing another one later next week. But again, this could actually drop a ton of snowfall. It's not going to be the biggest snowstorm we've seen, but it could possibly bring in a very good amount of snowfall compared to the size of this. Could possibly bring up to a foot for some areas and possibly to 2 feet in the Rockies. We have major new updates on the National Weather Service, major updates on the radar, and especially major updates on the snowfall totals. We're going to be looking at the timing, exactly how much snow you can see, and when it will move out. So if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, guys. It really means a lot when you guys support my channel. We are so close to 2,130 subscribers. Let's try to get there by the end of today. Be sure to share the channel to any friends or family that you think will love my forecast and all that. But without further ado, let's get into this major windstorm video. So we're going to be looking at the National Weather Service right now, and as you can tell, we're definitely starting to see these advisories, these warnings, and all these alerts starting to push now out the mountains. Of course, that's going to be the from the very cold air right here coming from Canada, where we have this major cold front set in place that we talked about earlier yesterday. And then again, here we have that moisture coming off the Gulf. So that's going to be another perfect chance for that snow. And also, we're just seeing that this mountain snow anyways around these areas. That doesn't have to do much with the Gulf or even cold front. We're just seeing that snow here anyways. But with this cold front, it's going to be pushing it out of the mountains. And that is why we've been seeing up to 4 to 5 unexpected named storms that we thought, up to Quincy, we thought was going to be our last named system. Now we are possibly getting up to T already. So again, we have now windstorm warnings out all the way up into the plains. We have it for areas into western Nebraska and also into southeastern Wyoming for Cheyenne. I mentioned that yesterday that I mentioned that Cheyenne was definitely going to get a lot of snowfall. We also do have now Casper, Wyoming, and winter weather advisory. Bill, Lance Creek, Lusk, all under winter weather advisories, will be on the lower side of that snowfall, and that's also including Chadron, Harrison, and Alliance, Nebraska. And again, we have Centennial, Rawlins, Medicine Bow, Garrett, Wheatland, Chokewater, of course, Glendo, and Shirley Basin. You guys out there into southeastern Wyoming, you guys have windstorm warnings. You guys would possibly see up to possibly 8 to maybe even 12 inches of snowfall, maybe even higher in the snowfall totals in the higher elevations for Sidney, Kimball, Harrisburg, Scottsbluff, and Bridgeport out there into the western part of Nebraska as well. Windstorm warnings. And then for North Platte, we have windstorm watches, Grant, Broken Bow, as far as these are going as far east as central Nebraska, and very soon all the way up to possibly Illinois, then New York, and then even all the way up into Boston. We can be seeing that snow, because it's going to be a cross-country system heading right here. So it's going to definitely be a long system. It's not going to be as thick or as the big size as what we saw with Sadie, Quincy, Ruth, but it's definitely going to be a longer lasting system. Because usually with the Ruth and all, we just see that, but this is going to go across this. So again, that's what we're going to be seeing with this. Again, we now have also windstorm watches stretching into far northern Colorado. We do have Georgetown, Fort Collins, Sterling, Fairplay. You guys are actually under now windstorm watches. And then for Aspen and Steamboat Springs in the higher elevations, we have windstorm warnings. Of course, we have winter weather advisories now for Jackson, Wyoming, I believe. Also out here into the Yellowstone, also Big Piney, Rock Springs, Buffalo, West Yellowstone, Jackson, Riverton. We have winter weather advisories there as well, and as far north as Helena, Great Falls. Great Falls has actually been taken away from windstorm warning, so they're be seeing up to only 1 to 2 inches left to come there. Possibly 1 to 3 inches for Helena. Again, Bozeman, and we have windstorm warning still for the Red Lodge area, because that's where we can possibly see an escalated up to 8+ inches of snowfall left to come. So here we are looking at the radar again. We actually saw a very small snowstorm out here. It was not named. It was not really expected. It could have just been with its cold front and also the really great lake effect snow. We actually saw up to 1 to 3 inches north of Chicago. We actually saw a 60 car pile up on Kennedy, the Kennedy Bridge, or Kennedy Highway. Again, we're seeing that snow continue. It's going to be very light, and it's going to be also mixed with rain, so it's going to be very slushy snow. That's going to be affecting Detroit and the Great Lakes. That won't necessarily affect the amount of snowfall we'll be seeing at the end of the week with this snowstorm. It's not like we're dropping like 1 to 4 inches in here, so that won't really change these numbers to being higher than they will be with this snowstorm. It won't really have any impact, but here we have that snow in the Rockies, of course. We're actually seeing it right now. But by the next 18 hours, we start to see it extending now to the Dakotas, Colorado now, and seeing the heavier snowfall now near Helena, Yellowstone, and Bozeman. In the next 30 hours, the snow will move east. We're now even seeing the snow showers already in Nebraska, and this will start moving, of course, southeastward with this cold front. So again, now we're going to be seeing Cheyenne, seeing that very heavy snowfall. Now getting out there into northern Colorado, seeing that snow showers out there that actually could possibly just be east of Boise. And then the next 48 hours, again, it's going to be completely different now. The European did not show this whatsoever yesterday, and now it's showing it a lot bigger. And it's about time they actually agree, because it's about to happen within less than the next 24 hours. Very heavy snow will be arriving now in Colorado Springs, Denver, all the way to the southwestern part of the state there. Still seeing that snow continuing in Cheyenne out there into Casper, Wyoming. Now we're seeing a huge ice threat. This will be more of a freezing rain threat than a sleet threat. That's going to be for now possibly into southern Iowa, western Illinois, northern Missouri, and also eastern Nebraska. That's what we'll possibly see in those bit warmer temperatures, maybe 35, 37. So before that snow does arrive, we'll see more of a little sleet, freezing rain, and then regular rain. And then we have a very big heavy snow, moderate to heavy snow just behind that. As it moves in the next 60 hours, it's going to be extending all the way from Ohio to Utah. So definitely very, really long system. Again, continuing to bring that snow for Denver, for Colorado, Utah. It will be on the lighter side. We possibly even could see some snow flurries for possibly Dodge City. And now we're going to be seeing that worst of that snowfall now more into the Midwest. Very heavy snowfall for southeastern Iowa. Very heavy snowfall for northern Indiana and northern Illinois. Could be seeing a huge increase of snowfall rates out here for maybe south of Aurora, Illinois, Chicago. You guys can actually be seeing a lot heavier snow than expected. Rockford, you guys are actually being included in the snow. Yesterday you weren't. So unless it's getting a lot worse, also possibly going to maybe even affect Columbus, Ohio, out there into Fort Wayne, into Kalamazoo, Michigan. I believe that's how it's pronounced. And then it's going to bring in more snow by Friday, all the way up into now Pittsburgh, Erie, State College, Toledo, Lansing. Very heavy snow again for Toledo and Cleveland as well. And the next 84 hours again, it's going to be now more of a northeastern storm on Saturday. This is also a huge update. Was not as expected to be as big as this, but possibly incredibly heavy snowfall for the New England area, and then should move out by Sunday. Now we'll be looking at the detailed radar really quickly. Again, the next 28 hours here, we have that snow out there into Wyoming and Nebraska. It could be quite heavy at times. Next 24 hours, again, that could definitely become a bit more widespread now, arriving in Iowa, Nebraska, such as Des Moines, far northern Missouri, possibly Davenport, Waterloo, Iowa City. You guys can get very heavy snowfall in the next around 38 hours to 42 hours. We'll possibly see the heaviest of the snowfall out here into Rockford now, into far southern Wisconsin. Could be seeing that snow still out there into eastern Iowa. Again, that's going to bring also heavy snow for Detroit, Cleveland, Toledo, South Bend. Still seeing those snow showers left behind in Cleveland, and it's going to be a good amount of snowfall now getting to now areas near Buffalo, Erie, Pennsylvania, Scranton, out there now, possibly getting close to New York City, Syracuse, Utica, Rochester, Albany now, including now Boston. Again, Boston could be seeing that very heavy snow all the way to Concord, Albany, on the Adirondacks. You guys can be getting some heavy, some on the lighter part of this snowstorm. Now we're gonna be looking at the general GFS again. This is not. This isn't really a huge update. I think the biggest update could have been with the NAM3KM models in the GFS, in the European. Again, here we have that snowfall out there into the central Rockies, and by the next 18 hours, and then by the next 30 hours, it's a whole new system. Again, definitely showing a lot more snow than rain compared to the GFS model. Again, seeing that snow extending all the way to northern Iowa or northern Illinois a lot sooner. Still seeing that very heavy snow for North Platte, Lincoln, Nebraska, Denver, Colorado Springs, North Platte. Maybe it looks like I might even avoid Valentine, Nebraska for the first time. And the next 42 hours, again, here we start to see that very heavy rain. But again, due to this high pressure system here and the lack of Gulf moisture, won't be seeing a huge major severe weather outbreak or extremely heavy rain or major flooding issues in the southeast with this, thankfully. And then also have a high pressure system, so not much precipitation left behind to have a potential major snowstorm at any point after this. And then we have two low pressure systems going to bring that more rain for now the Ozarks. Again, the next 48 hours, still seeing that very heavy snow arriving now into the Midwest. Could be seeing quite the heavy snow into Chicago, South Bend, Fort Wayne, Lansing, seeing that snow flurries getting to now central Kansas. It looks like even Youngstown, Ohio could get some snow now. That'll quickly now moving to the northeast there. So that's where we'll be seeing that snow issue out there into now Scranton, out there in Erie, Pennsylvania, Buffalo, very heavy snow for Cleveland, Toledo, Youngstown, South Bend, still seeing that snow, seeing the heavier snow now for Detroit, and then that'll be more of a north in New England system there, and then that'll mostly leave. Now we're looking at the NAM3KM model for the GFS. Again, next 24 hours, we're going to see that snow again extending out there into the north central plains, out there into Nebraska. Again, seeing those heavier bands. Again, it could be quite heavy, all depending on if we still have those very strong northerly or southerly winds. That could also cause blizzard conditions. Next 40 hours, it will definitely now start moving at a faster pace. Very heavy snow now for Iowa City. Could be seeing the really close to the worst out there into now near Davenport, seeing that snow flurries arriving to Chicago. So if it's cold enough, those flurries actually could turn to snow showers, and then that could bring a bit more snow than before it actually enters. Let's say Chicago could be seeing very heavy snow. Again, even Rockford, maybe even Milwaukee, Lansing, definitely seeing very heavy snow, as well as in between Toledo and Cleveland, as well, seeing very heavy snow. So seeing the snow showers left behind in Illinois, Missouri, and then again the next 50 hours, again start moving at a faster pace, crossing now Lake Erie. Could definitely cause a bigger threat from maybe lake effect snow coming after. But again, even going to be seeing that very heavy snow for Albany, Concord, New Hampshire, much of Massachusetts, Concord, New Hampshire, and Adirondacks. You guys can possibly be included, but really it's going to be not necessarily being a huge, more like this system. It's going to be more of actually a southern system, or a more like a central and southern New York system, not really including much of the Adirondacks. Possibly seeing maybe a good amount. It won't be as much as you usually see. Now we're looking at the snowfall totals. Actually, I want to check out the snowfall totals actually for this really quickly, because it's actually quite high for the NAM3KM model. So here we're going to be looking at total snowfall. It's quite crazy, as you can tell. It's really small of a system, like size, but look at this. This is almost close to maybe 3,000 miles of, because again, it's going all the way actually from Montana all the way up into possibly Maine. So quite the heavy snow. So again, for the west and those higher elevations, again, really heavy snow, especially just east of Jackson. We could be seeing up to 18 to 20 inches of snowfall again right here for southeastern Wyoming. Definitely seeing some very heavy snowfall actually. It's going to be quite something, up to 8 to 12 inches again for Cheyenne. And then just north and a couple miles east, we could possibly, or a couple miles west, we can climb it to 12 to 16 inches. So I would not doubt if actually Cheyenne possibly has a very good chance of seeing more than a foot. Look at this, incredibly, it's a beautiful track really for a snowstorm. It's actually, I kind of really like this track. It's like a basic track system going straight, instead of seeing a like kind of turn like this, like we've been seeing the past couple days. It's like a just straight snowstorm, which is actually really, really cool. I kind of like this. I don't know, I just really like this track right here, and it looks really satisfying. Again, definitely seeing a ton of snowfall enough for Omaha. Could be seeing an unexpected up to 8 to 12 inches. You guys thought your spring was coming. Well, it looks like it might be delayed a couple days. Up to 4 inches now for North Platte. Again, looks like Lincoln will just be avoiding the heaviest snowfall, because just north of Omaha we can be seeing quite a heavy snow. Also Nebraska City, 12 plus inches. Looks like Des Moines, wow, you guys possibly 7 to 9 inches. Waterloo, you guys are just missing out most of it, seeing maybe 2 to 4 inches. Looks like really Davenport could possibly be seeing up to possibly 6 to maybe 9 inches. Looks like Iowa City being the bullseye for Iowa, possibly getting 12 plus inches, maybe exactly 11 to 12 inches. Chicago has definitely increased its snowfall, getting close down to 5 to 6 inches for this, and then Aurora possibly getting 6 to 8 inches, and then for just for general north central, if not western Illinois, we could possibly see again 9 to 12 inches. Looks like out there into South Bend, 8 to 10 inches. Fort Wayne, up to possibly 5 to 6 inches. Auburn, possibly 11 inches. Looks like far southern Michigan could be seeing up to 10 inches, and then for maybe Detroit could be seeing 2 to 4 inches. Looks like Cleveland will be seeing up to 6 to 10 inches. Toledo, 8 to 11 inches. So quite the heavy snowfall, especially for these areas. And then for the northeast, could be seeing some good amount of snowfall for Erie, possibly 5 to 8 inches. Looks like Buffalo on the lower side, 2 inches, since it's going to be more of a southern New York system. Utica, it's going to be scattered 6 to 8 inches. Like Syracuse, possibly 3 to 6 inches. And then we're going to be seeing that heavier snowfall as well coming in the New England area. General snowfall totals for the European are also very high. Again, here we have this rocky snowfall. We're going to be seeing up to possibly 7 to 9 inches for Cheyenne, southeastern Wyoming, and then for out these higher Rockies elevations, we could possibly see again scattered 6 up to 13 inches in those far northern far higher elevations. Again, this is where also going to be that very interesting track right here in the northern plains here. Definitely going to be something very interesting. Let's actually get the Midwest. So again, here's that track. Again, we've seen those also some snowfall for Nebraska. About actually really low, possibly maximum for like near. Looks like Lincoln might see the heavier snowfall for 4 to 5 inches, up to like a 8 inch difference throughout areas out there. And then we'll be looking at the U.S. Corn Belt, if not the Midwest or the Great Lakes area. And this is also very interesting here. Definitely a very good amount of snowfall out here. Possibly again 4 to 5 inches, maybe 6 inches for Des Moines. It looks like the heavier snowfall will be in the far southern state, and also looks like very good snowfall near Washington, Illinois, 5 to 7 inches. Chicago, 3 to 5 inches there. It looks like Fort Wayne increasing up to 5 to 8 inches of snowfall, 5 to 7 inches for northern Indiana, up to 3 to 5 inches for southern Michigan. And it's actually going to be increasing as it does go and move into the northeast. That's what we'll possibly see that very heavy snowfall there. To actually check that out, could be quite a good amount of snowfall for the really lack of time of this snowfall actually falling in these areas. Could be seeing up to 5 to 8 inches for for Cleveland, up to 3 to 6 inches for Youngstown. Looks like a whole good amount of snowfall for Pennsylvania, up to close to 11 inches here. Looks like State College will be on the really border of getting up to maybe 1 to 3 inches. Just north, we can actually possibly get 5 inches. For Scranton, we can possibly get up to 6 to 8 inches. And then far northern Pennsylvania, up to 8 to 11 inches. Looks like Albany 1 to 4 inches there, and then for near Utica 3 to 5 inches, and then definitely a good amount of snowfall for the New England area. Just beginning in Boston, we're already seeing up to 3 inches. Looks like Providence will be seeing up to 5 to 8 inches. Newport will be seeing maybe just an inch or 3, and then Hartford 5 to 7 inches, and then out there into Massachusetts, Western Massachusetts 4 to 7 inches. I hope you guys, actually I almost forgot to check out the GFS radar, or your snowfall totals again. Those higher elevations, the Rockies again climbing to 14 to 18 inches in those higher elevations, and actually in Colorado, again just really the same totals here as a GFS or a European. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and bye guys.